college sports are changing now that student athletes are getting paid. I'm here at Scott's Edition talking to two university student directors about the big changes.
A house has gone up 14% with just 11% increase even just this last year, the third highest in the whole country.
The gubernatorial candidate debate earlier this month got heated. We have more on that. The Halloween spirit is taking over Lakeside Farmers Market with costumes and candy. We have more on how this market promotes supporting small businesses. VCU InSight starts now. Hello, and welcome to the VCU InSight. I'm Blake Jokins. It's been almost a month and the government is still shut down. It's now the second longest in America's history. At risk, millions of people are set to lose their federal-funded nutrition benefits, such as SNAP. However, Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin just announced that $145 million taken from the state's revenue surplus will go to help SNAP beneficiaries in the Commonwealth.
But to use hungry Americans and hungry Virginians as a hostage in a negotiation that is all about their political future is deplorable, and Virginia's not standing for it.
According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, 800,000 Virginians use SNAP benefits, with over 300,000 being children. Still, if lawmakers don't come to a decision by November 1st, millions of other people across the country will lose their SNAP benefits, small business loans, and WIC benefits, which offer support for mothers and their children. Food pantries across the country and here in Virginia are scrambling to help. If you are in need of assistance, you're encouraged to dial 211 or visit 211virginia.org to find a food pantry near you. Right now, college student athletes in the NCAA are earning money from their names, images, and likeness. But how much each player is making tends to be a mystery. VCU InSight reporter Alexis Washington is learning more about how the universities across Virginia are dealing with revenue sharing.
The landscape of college sports are changing now that athletes are receiving a cut. The Richmonder hosted a panel with athletic directors from VCU and JMU to discuss how the universities are adjusting. Student athletes are living in a different era.
I never in my life thought in a world of college athletics I would have said to someone that I was late for a meeting because I was talking to one of our players' agents.
Athletic director at VCU, Ed McLaughlin, says some student athletes are making more than trainers and coaches.
It's much more like a pro environment in that way. So, working on employee appreciation things, working on just making the little things that we can do for our student athletes that are not in that smaller group.
According to McLaughlin, there are more than 300 student athletes, but only 25 to 30 student athletes are getting compensated in revenue sharing. But where does this money come from to directly pay them? For VCU,
we're renting out the Siegel Center to outside events. We're contracted with a company called ASM, and we're renting the Siegel Center out, so concerts and comedy shows and all these different things. It will be a pretty good financial situation for us. But that's going strictly back to rev share.
JMU's athletic director Matt Rowan did not specify how many athletes are getting paid, but
the levers that we control, our ability to sell tickets, our ability to raise money, and our ability to have corporate partnerships.
McLaughlin addressed how members of the men's basketball are making more compared to other sports.
Part of it is too, they have to make foul shots in front of 8,000 people every single time they go out there and perform. That's not what the student athlete experience is for the rest of our student athletes too.
Rowan and McLaughlin emphasized college athletic scholarships are still important despite the rapid changes. Both panelists feel that the NCAA needs to develop some type of agent regulation. Reporting for VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Alexis Washington.
We will have more on VCU men's basketball later in the show. VCU continues to investigate an on-campus hazing incident involving a suspended fraternity. VCU's Office of Student Conduct and Academic Integrity says the individual students can be charged for their alleged actions and participation in the hazing event that happened earlier this month. I have more on the investigation. To be clear, VCU's Theta Chi chapter is no longer affiliated with either the university or its national organization for up to a year now. But VCU Student Affairs is investigating the group after alleged incidents of hazing over a few days in October. According to the VCU Alert, it happened during pledging events between October 3rd through October 6th, and it involved unauthorized members of Theta Chi. Allegations include physical battery, mental degradation, and forced consumption of alcohol. The thing is, according to VCU's Student Organization Conduct Report, the frat is suspended till September of 2028 for previous misconduct. Other members of Greek life that have been suspended for misconduct include Kappa Sigma, Lambda Chi Alpha, Lambda Phi Epsilon, and Phi Kappa Alpha. Hazing is a misdemeanor in the state of Virginia. However, punishment varies depending on each school's code of conduct. This can include expulsion of students involved. VCU police tell me they have not received any reports about the event, but will provide assistance in the future if necessary. They say the process for criminal charges is separate from the student conduct process. Universities across the country continue to rethink their safety preparedness with the rise of school shootings. VCU police are working to make sure everyone knows what to do if the unthinkable happens. VCU InSight reporter Dakota Griffin has more on what you need to stay safe.
Most times with active shooters, they will check to see the room to see if there's people inside.
VCU police officer Josiah Evans leads active shooter response training sessions on campus. Part of the training is looking at a classroom and identifying what a student or faculty member should do.
I would use this right here, right? This is most likely the only thing in here that could really stop a bullet.
But for students like Allison Haupt, feeling prepared starts with knowing these trainings exist.
It wasn't like a very basic looking email, so it didn't really stand out. So I just moved on to the next.
The most recent training session in September was open to everyone in the VCU community, but attendance was not required. In an active threat scenario, VCU police say that students and faculty should remember these steps. Run if you can, hide if you can't, and fight if you must. At the training, Officer Evans went beyond those steps and explained the key difference between cover and concealment.
Cover is basically what you use. If a bullet is coming, can it stop it? Concealment is basically hiding, but a bullet can go through it.
Along with the in-person training, VCU requires all students and staff to complete an online safety course through Canvas. But Haupt believes the in-person training sessions should be mandatory.
VCU has more of a right to make it mandatory for them.
VCU police also share step-by-step safety tips on their website. To learn more or request a session, visit police.vcu.edu or call the department directly at 804-828-1234. Reporting in Richmond for VCU InSight in the VCU Newsroom, I'm Dakota Griffin.
VCU Police plans to continue these sessions year-round to ensure the community feels safe and prepared in the active shooter scenario. The energy is back on Broad Street. Fans packed the Siegel Center to watch the new men's basketball team. VCU InSight reporter Alexis Washington is courtside.
I'm here at the annual Black and Gold game, and as you can see right behind me, fans are already starting to walk up, eager to see the new head coach and players. It's that time of the year again. VCU basketball is back. The Black and Gold game gives fans a preview of new and returning players. This is freshman Siani Jones' first game as a VCU student.
I'm just here for the vibe, I love a good basketball game.
This year is extra special. Phil Martelli Jr. is stepping on the court for the first time as head coach.
VCU is the elite of the elite. We are working hard every day to make all of you proud.
The game consisted of a scrimmage between the players, one team black, one team gold. Freshman Jordan Tillery out of IMG Academy in Florida had a great offensive performance, pushing the ball to the rim. And returning player Brandon Jennings showcased his abilities by making big-time plays on both ends of the court. Basketball is not the only thing back.
I love the Peppers. Every game they're really good, and they just bring the energy.
Ivana Young is a 2005 VCU alum, making up for lost time.
When I was here in school, I didn't come. I actually didn't start coming to the games until I was an alumni.
Young hopes to make memories throughout this season. Reporting for VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Alexis Washington.
To purchase season tickets, Visit VCUathletics.com. The gubernatorial candidates, Republican Winsome Earle-Sears and Democratic Abigail Spanberger, will soon find out who is Virginia's first female governor, once voters go to the polls next week. I have a look back at their only televised debate.
You will each have 60 seconds to answer a question.
The gubernatorial debate covered many topics important to Virginians, but from the beginning, Republican candidate Winsome Earle-Sears wanted this addressed.
Really what I want to ask, this first question is, Abigail, when are you going to take Jay Jones and say to him, you must leave the race? He has said that he wants to murder his political opponent.
Jones, running as a Democrat for Attorney General, has apologized for the violent text he sent years ago. But, according to experts, it's not sitting well with voters. Spanberger has denounced Jones's actions, but was asked about dropping her endorsement for him.
But the voters now have the information, and it is up to voters to make an individual choice based on this information.
Both the candidates did address key issues on reproductive rights.
I support the Roe standard, which is what this codification of a constitutional amendment moving forward would be. That's what I will support as governor, though I will not have a vote on it. I will support it.
Earle-Sears has previously supported a 15- and 6-week abortion ban, but said this at the debate.
So my position is that the Commonwealth needs to come together and figure out where it wants to be. It's not going to be my view. It's going to be a view of the majority.
Next on the table is Virginia's cost of living and affordability. Spanberger says housing costs are pushing people out.
Issues. In fact, during the time that the lieutenant governor has been in office, the cost of buying a house has gone up 18%. The cost of renting a house has gone up 14%, with just 11% increase even just this last year, the third highest in the whole country.
Earle-Sears says the key to affordability is strong job prospects, and that her current time as lieutenant governor has already done that.
But we have created over 15,000 new business startups. Never existed until we came into office. New business, high-paying startups. And then we have created, as I've said before, over 265,000 jobs.
The debate was plagued with frequent interruptions, mostly by Earle-Sears, especially when the topic of transgender issues came up.
In cases across Virginia, I think it's incumbent upon parents and educators and administrators in each local community to make decisions locally.
That's what this is about.
Ms. Earle-Sears?
There should never be nude men in locker
rooms. Oh my goodness, we finally have her saying that, but you voted for that.
Ms. Earle-Sears.
Another big topic, data centers.
Behind me is one of Virginia's new data centers. According to datacentermap.com, Virginia has 643 of them alone. Because of this, Virginia's energy grid is being taxed.
Both candidates agree that VA residents should not be shouldered with the electricity bills made by data centers.
It's important that they pay their fair share. And as governor, I will ensure that data centers pay their fair share.
Earle-Sears says she wants to create more power plants and highlight a micronuclear reactor program in Wise County.
So what we need is an all-of-the-above approach to energy. We need clean coal, we need oil, we need nuclear, we need natural gas, and we need, yes, renewables.
Spanberger says she has made a list on her website with a specific plan. Election day is November 4th. The First Amendment protects free speech, but what happens when the use of free speech becomes controversial? VCU InSight reporter Trey Brown explores how free speech plays in the real life and the consequences people are facing.
The First Amendment guarantees freedom of speech, but it doesn't always guarantee freedom from consequences. Tensions have boiled over the tragic assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Public reaction online was quick and in some cases costly. Several individuals lost their jobs after tweeting opinions or jokes about Kirk and the tragedy. Then, ABC pulled Jimmy Kimmel off air for a joke deemed insensitive about Kirk. The TV show host returned to television less than a week later. VCU professor John Augenbaugh explains what many Americans seem to forget about the First Amendment.
The private sector does not have to necessarily abide by the First Amendment. Constitutional rights listed in the Constitution apply to and burden the government. If your speech, even on your private time, may look bad or reflect badly or poorly on that private sector organization, they're not going to want to keep you around.
Here at VCU, students are learning to navigate that fine line between free expression and accountability.
Last semester, 3 VCU students had their degrees withheld after they were accused of organizing a pro-Palestine protest deemed unauthorized on campus. Their degrees were eventually released. However, the Fire.org gave VCU a D- grade when it comes to how the university ranks for free speech. VCU continues to work to find a balance. A recent email to students and faculty emphasized creating a supportive culture for all students while balancing First Amendment rights, something Augenbaugh agrees with.
The idea of freedom of speech is that it is free speech for everyone, including those who think differently than you.
Reporting in Richmond for VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Trey Brown.
Students are raising awareness for individuals with rare genetic conditions through an organization at VCU. VCU InSight reporter Olivia Clark has more on how the group advocates through volunteer opportunities.
Goodie bags with sensory-friendly toys are being prepared to bring Halloween joy to children with special needs at Richmond Public Schools.
You leave the day feeling very heartful, I guess, knowing that, you made new friends, you're able to help someone, maybe even improve their daily life.
These goodie bags aren't just full of stickers and candy. They also have sensory toys such as poppets, which help an individual focus on their sense of hearing, and slime balls that help focus on a child's sense of touch.
The organization behind this event is called Nate's Promise. Co-president of the VCU chapter, Victoria Novak, says it's a nonprofit that focuses on fostering a community that believes every person with special needs should be treated with dignity and respect.
Be kind to everyone, and overall, you as a server for this club will also become a better person.
It all began to honor Nate, a little boy who passed away at 6 years old due to a rare genetic condition called Williams syndrome. Williams syndrome affects cognitive and developmental delays, patterns of behavior, and can lead to potential heart defects. Members of the club continue to stay in touch with Nate's family and have grown close.
So yeah, just seeing his family every day, it truly keeps me tied to what this club is really about.
They continue to make an impact as they are partnering with the Virginia Down Syndrome Association for their ongoing mentorship program, which matches mentors with individuals who have Down syndrome. Together they build connections, complete daily tasks, and develop life skills. Reporting for VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Olivia Clark.
To learn more about how you can get involved, you can visit their website at natespromise.com. Today at Gilly Creek Park, a unique cleanup crew is at work tackling invasive plants. The goats of Gilly Creek not only help restore the local ecosystem, but VCU InSight reporter Hassan Perez found out more about the connection, and also he was there for the routine checkup.
At Gillies Creek Park, an unusual cleanup crew, a herd of goats, take on a vital job of clearing out the invasive plants and restoring the landscape naturally. These four-legged landscapers belong to the nonprofit Gillies Creek Goats. Colby Casalleros has been a volunteer with the organization for over 2 years.
In terms of the benefits, it's kind of a no-brainer. If you go into a lot of neighborhoods, you'll hear that sound of constant leaf blowers. With the goats, there's no noise, it's silent.
Owner, Christy Orcutt, started this herd over a decade ago.
All these invasive non-native plants that grow and kill the trees. And so this park, it's being used by so many different people. All these activities, so the park is packed. So they need every acre they can get.
Standing behind me is Blanche, a 3-year-old half Nigerian, half Kiko goat mix. Since the goats have improved this green space by eating invasive species, native plants are now growing, like the burla and the wingstem. The goats not only help protect the trees and the ecosystem, but also bring a bit of peace and connection to the community in the middle of the city. There's even a study in the Natural Library of Medicine that says volunteers who spend 2 to 3 hours interacting with goats saw a 25% drop in anxiety.
Even people who live in the city and their feet never even leave pavement, and it helps connect them to something way back in their past that they never got to experience.
Reporting from Richmond, Virginia, I'm Hassan Perez.
Holiday season starts now. The Lakeside Farmers Market kicked things off with their annual Halloween market. VCU InSight reporter Naomi Smalls is talking to vendors about why it's important to support small businesses.
Each. All these are 7, our gourds are 7, our white pumpkin here is 10, and she's heavy, but she's a beauty. Oh yeah.
Open year-round, Lakeside Farmers Market is a favorite for many local business owners. Tatiana Becerra of J&A Produce in Essex County owns a 30-acre farm and 3 greenhouses.
It's just a great way of living, you know, just to grow and know what you're eating.
They sell produce at many markets across the Commonwealth, but love the community they've built at Lakeside.
So we are here today because we sell here as much as we can all year long, rain or shine, and we wanted to be a part of this special Halloween event to share our lovely pumpkins and our fresh end of season produce to wrap up this summer season and just support great events like this and share our great healthy foods with the community.
At least 50 vendors filled the stalls at the market. They had pumpkin decorating and trick-or-treating. Halloween costumes were encouraged.
When you think of a farmer's market, you expect fresh, locally grown produce. At Lakeside, vendors are selling so much more than that.
Christine Haig sells natural skincare and household products safe for people with eczema or sensitive skin.
Essential oils, room sprays, fragrance rollers, bath and body care products, home care items. So at my booth, you'll have like a one-stop shop.
Haig is a longtime vendor at Lakeside. Like Becerra, she appreciates the community and how each business supports one another.
Even though it's considered a small business, you're helping people reach their big dreams. And that's what I love about it.
Be sure to mark your calendars for Lakeside's Holly Jolly Market, November 7th through 9th. Reporting in Lakeside for VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Naomi Smalls.
Another Halloween event is taking place tomorrow, and VCU InSight reporter Trey Brown is at the Halloween on Hanover to give a preview on what we can expect.
Decorations are still going up here on Hanover Avenue, but every year this street turns into a haunted haven.
With hundreds of people turning out in costume, from the adorable to the terrifying, there are treats for kids, tricks for grown-ups, and some scary good decorations. Residents along Hanover go all out every year for Halloween. Some of these setups take some time to prepare, and the neighborhood has become a hub of great vibes for Halloween lovers across the city.
You can expect to see a lot of inflatables, many graveyards in people's front yards,
and really good decorations in general. According to the 2022 Axios Richmond article, over half the houses participating between Lombardy and Robertson Street spend about $40,000 on candy, totaling to over 350 pieces of candy.
So whether you're here to trick-or-treat, dance in the streets, or just people watch, Hanover is the place to be on Halloween. Reporting from Hanover on Halloween for VCU InSight and Newsroom at VCU, I'm Trey Brown.
I hope you have a warm costume because it's going to be a chilly Halloween weekend. On Friday, we're looking at a high of 61 and a low of 46 in the evening. Saturday, we'll have similar temperatures with a high of 61 throughout the day and a low of 43 in the evening. Thank you for watching VCU InSight. You can catch all of our stories right here on our YouTube channel. We will have reporters across Virginia covering the election as it unfolds on November 4th. Our next episode will be on Election Special and will air November 13th. For VCU InSight and the newsroom at VCU, I'm Blake Jokins.